Thank you for clicking on my video. My name is Anthony Allen. Welcome here to my YouTube channel. I'm a content creator from Birmingham here in the UK. As you can see, there's a little bit of sun outside and you're going to understand exactly why I've just mentioned that in this video, because what I will be doing is levitating off the ground from here in this room. So I'm going to blow your mind with a visual effect that I've done on a shoestring budget. That's right. So let's break this all down before I show you the visual effect and give you a little bit of explanation of exactly what's happening in the shot. Let's go. So you might have seen from the YouTube shorts already that I've uploaded that I was able to levitate off the ground in this very room. So you can see my room layout. Let me just give you a little bit more without revealing too much of what my room looks like. That's very important to the levitation effect that I'm creating. Lighting is another thing that's very important. I have an extra bulb light that I have right here, a photography light setup where it's just literally one bulb. So if I move you over just a little bit, you might be able to see where you can't see it, but never mind. There's a little bulb. Actually, yeah, I'm going to pick you up. Like, just bear with me. I'm going to pick you up and show you that bulb. Now, that's going to ruin the position of my camera, so keep that in mind. Ready? See the bulb? Okay. I needed to show you that. So I have one light source. Now, when you are doing what I have done with this visual effect, your lighting is crucial to what is happening in the scene. If you're doing any visual effects from a realistic scene that is actually digestible in the shot, meaning the people are there, everything that you've got in your scene is actually there, and then you're doing some form of an animation or CGI, your lighting might change. You might have different light sources affecting the scene, making the shot look unrealistic or making the animator's job a lot more difficult. So all of these things I'm considering when I'm framing the shot, ready to do my levitation. Also, I removed some things from my room to make it a little bit easier. So in the background, you can see that I have my YouTube play button, my silver play button for getting over 100,000 subscribers. I also have a mirror, which would be extremely difficult to do the effect that I'm about to do with something that reflects the image back at you. So with any normal movie, film, TV production, if you've got mirrors, it becomes extremely difficult, which is the reason why scenes like Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee movie, if you've ever seen that movie, when he has that fight with the mirrors, it's extremely impressive from a cinematographer's point of view, because it's very difficult to not catch a camera in the reflection of the mirror, and Bruce Lee smashes these mirrors in that fight scene. It's one of the most legendary Hollywood martial arts fight scenes because of the use of mirrors in it. So I removed my mirror from the background. I also removed any small objects that can cause an animation or the effect that I use to become more difficult. Anything with fine details are removed. So let me show you what's on there. I'm going to actually pick these things up so I can show you up close and personal. Let's go. Hold on. I'm not making any cuts as well. That's a visual choice of mine. I will be changing my hat and explaining that in a minute as well. So as you can see, on this shelf, I usually have a mirror. So the reflection issue, or right here. Now there's two sides to that mirror as well. There's also it's going to be really jarring to show you on camera, but there's a zoomed up, closer if you want to look closer at your face. And then there's like a more sharper, more eye-focused image of what your face actually looks like in the mirror if you're looking in the mirror at your face. So both sides would be fairly difficult. Then the YouTube play button actually has a mirror built into it as well. So the 100,000 silver play button from YouTube, the new one, may I add, because the old one was a little bit bigger. This is more of a picture frame and you can actually hang it up, but it does have a mirror in it as well, which makes filming it fairly difficult. That is definitely a choice that YouTube made for, of course, content creators to think about how they're filming their play button. I like that little detail. Again, the use of mirrors in filming is extremely difficult to, especially if you're doing any visual effects, it's going to make it really hard. I also have on that shelf, usually, this little YouTube play button badge. Now, if you want to know where I got these pieces of merch, like the YouTube play button, there is a playlist called Anthony Allen Updates, and I've uploaded a few videos of me unboxing some of the gifts that YouTube gave me. In those videos, I explain why YouTube gave me those gifts. I will be changing this headwear in a moment to another one, because I want to show you that in this video. And I also have this snow globe. Now, as you can imagine, this snow globe, especially if it was moving, if you're doing any animation or anything, this thing, even though it's in the background, far in the background, is going to be fairly difficult to replicate frame to frame. So imagine you're animating this from frame to frame. Really difficult. So now I've explained the technicalities behind me removing things in the background. What about the lighting that I've just mentioned? So I showed you the bulb and the photography lighting that I've got over in the left, and that it's a sunny day, as you heard me mention at the beginning of the video. So why is this important? The sun is going to change position throughout the day, but I have a photography lighting to counteract the sun on the other side of the room, in the corner of the room closer to my face. So this light is currently bouncing off the left side of my face, and then I'm using natural light on the right hand side of me to light the other part of the room and my face. So if you imagine my face is the subject right now, if it gets dark on the right, I would probably need another light source, because this would all be shadow, and then this light would be the key light that is lighting most of the shot. This light becomes more dominant, and the sun will then be non-existent if I close the curtains, for example. So lighting is very important if you're doing any visual effects in your scene. Think about the light sources that are already there, your rule of thirds when you're framing up the shot, how much light is in the center of the shot that you're filming. Is it a long shot, a mid shot? All of these things I'm considering before I'm trying to do my levitation effect. Now, I'm going to change my headwear. So clothing is also important from frame to frame for your continuity. If I was to change my clothes, or something about my clothes, or a piece of movement was to change when I'm creating my levitation-like effect, then of course that could affect how the scene is then constructed, how I'm constructing it, what I'm doing, the visual effects that I'm using in order to create my levitation. All of these things are very important. If I was to change my clothes, if my clothes was to change movement throughout, if I was to choose to change my headwear, that's also really important towards the scene as well. So all of that has been considered. Usually when you're filming on television, they normally will tell you to wear plain clothing, because things like what I'm wearing right here could be fairly difficult for the camera to pick up those small little details. This hoodie is literally built to be obstructive to the camera lens. It literally has the worst pattern for the camera lens to pick up every little piece of detail of it in a wide shot. And when it gets close up, it gives a visual effect as if there's like a rippling like effect. Just to give you an example of different types of clothing that can cause a lot of issues when you're animating yourself or making yourself levitate in a CGI-like scene. This hoodie, I would have to turn around and it would be more plain, which is the reason why in the shot where I'm levitating, I turn around. Now I'm wearing a do-rag on my head. Luckily, my hood was covering up the rest of my do-rag trail. What is a do-rag for those of you who are like, what the heck is a do-rag? What's the purpose of it? A do-rag is for afro hair, and it protects your hair from splitting off so you can continue to grow it or keep the moisture locked in to your afro hair so you can protect the hair follicles or your scalp if you're trying to do something like hair waving. That's the purpose behind a do-rag. It's protecting your afro hair, and there's all these different types of do-rags that can do different things. I'm protecting my afro hair right now, so usually if I'm in the house and I'm not going out right now, then I'll be wearing my do-rag, protecting my afro hair because I'm trying to grow it and do different things with it. Now, if I take this off, because the do-rag is built to protect those hair follicles and push it all in and push the moisture all together, my afro will be stuck together in like a weird shape. So it gets like, it'll just be all flat. Like, you know what I mean? I can give you a little sample, I suppose. So you can see like everything's flat. My hair's really flat right now. It's not, you know, the afro's not out there. So when I decided to do this effect and I wanted to do it, I was like, I have to consider, do I keep my do-rag on that I've already got on? Or I have to go in the shower to loosen up my hair, pick it all out, restyle it, pick a style that's not going to move or be extremely difficult to animate before beginning to film. So hair is also really important. if you notice as well, my beard has been wet throughout the whole of me talking so far. The reason why is because I've just taken a quick shave of my neck and different parts of my facial region. So that also is fairly important. You have to consider your hair of your face and what's on your head before you begin to film in any sort of complex way for continuity, or if you're doing any animation. If you've ever watched I mean, there were a few different movies where you might be able to spot continuity errors from shot to shot. There are some really famous ones. I'm not going to talk about them now, but if you know of any, you can always hit me up in the comment section down below to talk about those continuity errors where, for example, somebody's face has changed from one shot to another. So, facial hair, clothing, lighting, camera position. Is there any movement of your camera? This is all really important when you are going to create the effect that I'm going to show you that I have created. Now, I've done it more than once. So I levitated more than once, and I had to consider different things like morphing, because if there is any camera position or change from frame to frame, then what will happen is you might have different places or objects moving from this shot that I'm giving to you right now, which is what I've done the levitation effect from. You can see that the shot is picking up some of my clothing on the left hand side. So you might see me move the camera position so my clothing is not in that shot. The longer the levitation goes, you'll see me sort of crop things out. That is purposely done. Also, painting walls. You might notice there's a few different things that I don't have control over right now. So if I wanted to do the effect again, I would probably pick a blank wall to do it up against. But in the spirit of creativity and, of course, diarying all of my progression and learning curves, things that I already knew, but I just wanted to make it anyway, you get in to see the raw attempts of me levitating and all these different things. So if you are a film and TV student, you know exactly what I'm saying. But if you are a noob to this is going to blow your mind anyway. If you've watched the original YouTube shorts that I created of me levitating as well, it's all done in this room, man. So basically, all I did is right now, let me move some of this out of the way. I got up, moved the chair out of the way because I didn't want the chair in the shot. So I'm standing up. I didn't move the camera position. I didn't move it up. I didn't zoom out. I didn't do different resolution. I didn't do a different frame rate. And all I've done is I've walked. Oh, yeah, no, I did move my hands as well. I forgot to mention that. So obviously, like, I mean, I'll do it again. So you can see. So that's basically me reenacting the raw shot and what I did, just showing you different variations of how the action, how me moving could have changed from different attempts that I created. There were different things that I could have done with my body, but you can now understand the decisions that I made when making this effect come to life. So yeah, all of this is considered. Also the copyright with the music as well. So if I've uploaded it as a YouTube short copyright for music is very different. So all of this has been considered. Now what I'm going to do in the spirit of YouTube right now is I have my coffee in my YouTube Shorts mug right here because I'm an elite creator, as you can see. So I have some merch that YouTube and Google have given to me. As I'm going to put my YouTube Shorts hat on. So I'm going to take my do-rag off. Now I didn't use my YouTube Shorts hat in the levitation because I was turned around because that was part of my action decision and what I wanted to make so it could make it easy for myself, and I didn't want to change anything that I was really wearing. So this is what there's other things as well, like nature. As I said, like my beard was wet because I took a shave before I hit record right now. So if you can imagine, if your clothes are wet at any point, let's say you take a drink, let's say you take a break, you go cut, let's cease filming for a minute, dinner break. If you go to get something on your clothes, that's going to break continuity if you're then filming the same shot. So if you want to do any animation in realistic settings with a real subject, a real person in the scene, these are all of the things that you have to consider. And I just wanted to break that down real quick. And I'm proud of myself for breaking down as much as I just did. I think I deserve a gold star. Another thing as well is glasses. So there are different non-reflective glasses that you can actually get from your opticians when you're filming any scenes like this. So as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using photography lighting. So with these types of glasses, there can be a bit of an issue if it's got reflection in it, but you can go to your opticians and get non-reflective lenses. It does help if you're filming anything like this with photography or actual lighting that you need. Now, my budget, again, is in the floor, so I didn't have something like a TV show budget or a TV episode budget. I had nothing close to that. This is all done from a shoestring budget. Me right here, having the idea and making it from scratch with everything considered that I've just spoken to you about as well. Another thing that you need to consider is, of course, sound. If you're using any natural sound, now you will, if you've got a professional or a mid-tier microphone plugged in like I have, then you will pick up the air around the room that you're filming in. If you're in a large room, there'd be more space with that sound. It'd be wah, wah. If you've ever stood in like a church building and shouted, you can hear the sound of your voice bouncing back at you, maybe creating a little bit of an echo. All of these things are considered. So your room size with the sound would need to be considered. Are you using lavalier microphones, plugging it into where you are, or are you using non-digestive sounds and recording it afterwards and then putting it into the scene? All of these things are considered because you may want sound in your animation as well. Yes. Okay. I've explained everything. Now I'm going to put my YouTube Shorts hat on and I'm going to initiate something that my viewers, my regular viewers, if you happen to be here, are really going to enjoy me doing, because you can join in. I like to say 2 words: launch and observe. Now this, I think, do I pick launch or observe for you to observe the effect that I've created? I don't know. Now, oh yeah, before I continue, there are a few different techniques that you can use to try to make yourself levitate. I could have also done it a lot better if I had like different clothing on right now. I could literally fly in a scene. You might have seen me fly like Superman. There are AI techniques. There are different visual editing techniques. I won't be revealing what I did in this one specifically because I'm going to do a lot more and I want to keep amazing you. But all of those different production things that I've just mentioned are going to help you along the way anyway. And they are more valuable than me telling you, hey, yo, these tools, these apps, this editing software. Right now, I've just given you production value, which is going to help you with whatever tool you choose to use to create something like what I've just created. And I'm going to show you in this video. Boom. So there you go. You've got the value. Now I'm going to switch the hat. I'm going to wear my YouTube Shorts hat, baby. Hold on a second. Be right back. I've had no cuts throughout this, and that's purposely done. As I said, I like to show many things. My talking flow, my mannerisms, all of these things I like to show you raw and naturally, just to know, I don't know, it's just a style that I'm doing right now, so you can just see what I'm like, you know what I mean? So I'm going to put this hat on. Hold on. And the problem is when I put this YouTube Shorts hat on is I have to look in the camera to see. Oh, the mirror, bro. My mirror's right next to me. Oops, just hit the microphone. I'm not gonna cut. I'm not putting this into an editing platform, so I won't cut that out. I apologize. So I'm having to look in the mirror to see if my hat's on straight. So my hat's on straight, but as you can see, I have a little bit of a weird shaped head right now because my afro is like flat. Right, I got my YouTube Shorts on. I'm going to count it down and we're going to say launch. And at the end of the launch, I will be showing you the different takes that I took. Not the different takes, the different finished pieces, if you will, of me levitating off the ground. The kind of finished effect that I used in the YouTube Shorts and different on different platforms as well. So yeah, you're about to get the effect now that I've completely explained it. Before we jump into the countdown and saying launch and doing my emote, I'd like to say thank you for watching up until this point. Don't forget to comment. You can always talk to me in the comment section. I just wanted to make a raw video, a long form raw video, just explaining just how I made this effect, man, and all the different things that I considered in doing that, because I do believe I'm on a journey, and this is a sort of diary. So I'm able to diary these things with you and to show you the behind the scenes, more or less, of how I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So hopefully you've enjoyed my explanation right there. Yo, let's go. You ready? So we're gonna count you down, and we're gonna do launch at the end of it with the emote to launch the clips. You're gonna see me levitate off the ground. Okay, you ready? Do countdown from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, using the pinky finger, 5, 4, 3, 2, pinky finger, 1. Launch. Let's show you me right here levitating. Observe. Now, you're wondering why I'm still here. The reason why I'm still here is because you might have just noticed that the lighting has changed from the beginning of the video until this part of the video. I haven't made any cuts other than placing the clips, the whole point in the video, me levitating. So the levitation clips are the only edit of this entire video right now. Other than me actually having to put my voice into stereo, because for some reason when I'm recording through the software that I'm doing my video right now, it keeps changing one channel into an empty channel. Stereo, right and left, is what it's outputting, but one of the channels is empty. No idea why. But yeah, so this has been one complicated ass video. Yeah, so if you've enjoyed this one, guys, of me just breaking things down just a little bit, showing you all the behind the scenes of how this gets done and how I do these things on my own, with my lighting, my editing, my thumbnails, and all of that, everything, baby, then give me that all important big thumbs up. Thank you for watching. You guys have been absolutely amazing. My name's Anthony Allen. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, smash that subscribe button right here on YouTube. Don't forget as well, guys, there's some more content in gaming that I'm creating and uploading. And yeah, thanks for joining me on this journey. And I'll continue to try to do some more, man. Yeah. All right. Nice. Get out of here. I love you guys, man, but you gotta go. I'll see you in the next video. More where that came from. Thanks for watching. Playlist on screen right now. That playlist is the Anthony Allen Updates playlist. I need to stop talking. Oh, I'm gonna put my glasses on so you can see the difference. This is what I look like with dirty glasses that need cleaning. I'm gonna go and get the wipes. See you later.